guys, what is going on? My name is Joe, aka Cap,
I'm Dom, not Mysterio.
Got Bash.
and I'm still Cap. And
God, it's
this
weird out here in France.
Right.
push. Uh, guys, if you'll notice, it's much quieter in this
For once.
on this episode than it usually is at this point. That's because our brother Francis Harrison,
Damn,
he could not be here tonight. What's up?
That's a way to throw out his government like that. Holy shit.
I mean, we've been calling him that like every single episode.
It says you.
But yeah, no, our boy Francis couldn't be here tonight. He's just got some stuff going on personally that he needs to take care of. We're wishing him all the best. The boys, just because we don't have Francis, that doesn't mean that the news stops. And just because we took a week off, definitely doesn't mean that the news stops.
No,
A lot of things have been going on. A lot of things have been going on in professional wrestling as of late. Seems like almost everybody has a major pay-per-view or PLE going on. Specifically in the past 2 weeks, feels like everybody has had a show going on.
Yeah.
And it's all a lot of good content, to be honest with you. A lot of good stuff has been going on.
Honestly, this could also just be me living under a rock, but from the only one I haven't heard from is New Japan.
Well, that's because, once again, we don't have our residential weeb with us right now.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. But New Japan's the only company I haven't heard about a major event.
True. Things have been quiet across the ocean, but over here in the good old U.S. of A, a lot of stuff been going on. So let's start with oldest and get to the newest stuff going on. So, about 2 weeks ago was Saturday night's main event. Speaking of oldest, and it was about what everybody had expected it would be. Saturday night main event. Basically just a really fancy house show, I guess you could call it.
It's
Been like that since like 1985.
That's what I always thought. That when in Heat
Yeah.
and I think Velocity. I think Velocity was Sunday.
That's
I always thought those were like house shows for WWE.
That's basically what they were. They're just televised house shows. Because you got to remember the whole point of Saturday night's main event was to take the place of Saturday Night Live originally. It was like if Saturday Night Live didn't have a show, they would put on Saturday night's main event, and they would just televise a house show.
This is true.
That's all it was.
But yeah, they're mostly known. They're mostly known for not having that many significant things happening on them, to be honest with you. But one very significant thing did happen this past Saturday night's main event, and that was the retirement match of one Bill Goldberg. It was the main event of the show. They were hyping it up the entire night, and well, I'm not entirely sure how I felt about the delivery. It was a World Heavyweight Championship match. It was versus Gunther. Let's be perfectly honest here. Gunther was always going to win that match.
Yeah.
That is not the shocking part of any of this. But I want to get your guys' opinion overall on the match. How did you feel like the match went? I know you guys are much bigger fans of Goldberg than I personally am, so I want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Honestly, it's about what I expected. I can't say it was necessarily a great match. It was a typical Goldberg match. It's exactly like. I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. It wasn't like surprising in any way, shape, or form the way the match went. It definitely went longer than I thought it would. But
it did go pretty long.
Overall,
That probably
what?
Yeah, I would probably say that would be because of Seth Rollins and what happened with him.
Well,
But
yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah,
you know, there
In
was
a
some
bit.
shenanigans and stuff, and that was to be expected. Um, my only thing that I would say is like, I think it, like I said, to me it wasn't like that bad. I don't think it was that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. Um, Definitely the right choice to put him in the ring with Gunther to end out his career in hindsight. Because you know it's not like he's going up against someone his age who can't carry. At least Gunther can carry the match. You know, which helped. Um, yeah, all in all, I would say it was okay. It was a solid match. What about you, Scott? What do you think? Before I continue with my
um,
thought.
with how old Goldberg is, I'm actually very impressed with how the match went. We don't really truly know how long the match actually was going to be, so it could have been better if it was shortened up. If Seth Rollins never got injured,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote. I'll explain my quotes when we talk about Seth Rollins' injury, but it was impressive. For somebody Goldberg's age, it didn't look. He looked
Because
like he got better from the last match he had.
well, yeah,
To be honest,
because you got to remember. I mean, the dude's still in phenomenal shape for someone his age.
yeah, definitely.
My only thing is
Ooh.
like because his whole like the match that he had with Bray and the Undertaker didn't really work because Bray was, you know, like Bray was a great worker, but he was too heavy for Goldberg. You know, now Goldberg in his
Yeah,
prime versus Bray that would have been good.
I'm talking a
Um,
5 there.
yeah.
squash match probably.
Well, either it was a squash match either way. That's besides the point. It just would have looked nicer.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Yeah, sure.
but like you know, Undertaker probably wasn't a great call to put Undertaker and Goldberg in the ring together at that age. Um,
Yeah,
and Goldberg was concussed at the time, like so that didn't help.
it tends to be the trend that you need someone young with somebody really
Well,
old
yeah,
in
I
order
mean,
to
like that's how it
kind
should
of
be.
hold it.
That's how it should be anyway, because it should be. That's like the passing of the torch, you know.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think the
That's
only other person I think I would have liked to see other than Gunther would have been like Braun Breaker or something. Just because of like the fact that he uses the spear, and Goldberg has been very vocal over the fact that he's like he's the only one that should be using the spear. He doesn't like anybody else that uses the spear. He doesn't like Jay's spear. He doesn't like Roman's. He never liked Rhino or anybody like that. Like he said the only
yeah,
person he's seen that he is okay using the spear is Braun Breaker because of the way he does it.
yeah. And there's two things I didn't like. One about the match, and then one the weeks following the match. About the match, the only thing I didn't like, and maybe this is because I don't know why I never had this feeling with another wrestler when I've seen it happen to them during this time, but God, it really rubbed me the wrong way when he choked him out. I don't know
what
why I did not
is
that did
that?
not feel comfortable with that ending. I felt like it was the wrong choice of an ending to
Mm-hmm.
use.
Yeah,
Seeing Goldberg get choked out like that, it
doesn't
felt
make
I
sense.
felt wrong. It felt wrong when I saw it. And then
Would you
Yeah,
say? Well, hold on, because I'll chime in here. Scott, would you say it made you hate Gunther a bit?
no,
no, it was just the wrong choice. The power bomb would have been fine.
yeah, I would have much rather Goldberg get pinned than choke out.
Mm, I don't know. I don't have that big of a problem with the choke out, to be honest with you.
I don't have a problem with the move itself. I just don't think that it works against Goldberg. The dude never submitted to
Seeing
anybody. Yeah,
Goldberg get choked out kind of it just doesn't feel right. It
Well,
just didn't hit.
it still sort of keeps that in mind. He didn't tap. Is the thing.
true, but still.
True.
It
I
kind
don't
of
know.
keeps that in mind.
Also,
I'm on the same wavelength as Scott here. I think I would have much rather him
yeah.
take like a power bomb and get pinned or something.
So, within this match, within this whole segment, there was one thing I had a problem with, and I made that very vocal with you guys on Discord, like the night
Mhm.
of.
Mm-hmm.
and it was the fact that during his farewell speech, they just cut him off.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was pissed about
at
that
the
too.
moment,
And that the
I
disrespect.
was very, I was very upset about that. That seemed really disrespectful to do to him,
It's intentional.
and it seemed like a really nasty thing to do. And yeah, they put the whole thing on YouTube afterwards, like the
Yeah,
next day.
because
But
I don't.
to me, that doesn't seem like an acceptable it doesn't seem like an acceptable response.
Yeah, well,
But
because that's the thing. I
yeah,
don't
let
think
me
it was.
just put it out to you guys.
I,
What did you feel
I
about that?
don't. I don't think it was WWE that did it. Because clearly they recorded the whole thing and put it up on YouTube. I think it's because what is it? They're on NBC, or
Yeah, NBC.
yeah. I think it was them. Like they fucking their production people were like, okay, cut the feed. Like we're done. We got to start whatever fucking show is on next.
In that case, you need to. No,
I
I'm sorry.
know.
I'm
No,
sorry.
either way, it's
Listen,
disrespectful. I'm just saying I don't
listen,
think it's on WWE's production team. I think it's on
it's
NBC.
been made very clear in the past that I do hold a career when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to television, so I understand. Theoretically, I understand what was happening
Yeah,
in
I
the
still think it's
truck,
disrespectful.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Oh, as a fan, I am completely I feel like it was completely disrespectful.
No, I
Um,
agree with you. I see both sides of the coin here. It's like it's disrespectful to Goldberg and the fans and this and that and WWE. But at the
And
same time, it's
what
like they
is it?
have to stick to a schedule to get the next thing on broadcast.
I just don't understand the schedule because most likely the next thing on TV was something that was recorded, and
well,
I know, but
I
they can't
remember
start like
even if the match was like 7 minutes later, I always remember they would keep Raw on just to have it finished, and
keep in mind, there's a big difference between
Monday
NBC
Night
and
Raw.
USA.
Yeah, and it's also Monday
yeah,
Night Raw, the longest running episodic TV program
I feel
ever.
like I feel
Versus
like
a
there
once and every now and then PLE.
I feel like there could have been a better job
it's always
spacing
going to
out.
keep that title.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to be
Specifically.
on TV anymore soon, so
I feel like personally there could have been a better job spacing some things out. Like right before the speech, there was like a 3-minute commercial break, which
Yeah, they could have just
again
cut
I
that commercial
understand you
break.
have to get through all your sponsors and all that stuff. These companies pay for ad time. I get that. I understand all of that. As a fan, it doesn't make it any less
Yeah, it's
disrespectful.
still
However,
it's still bullshit. Because you know
and
what?
if this
If
was
they
going to be
were,
the case,
if
then
it
put it on Peacock.
exactly, if that was a baseball game, I guarantee you NBC would have let it go. If like, oh, the baseball
Yeah,
game went into extra innings, you can't watch Modern Family rerun tonight.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No, I agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
they would, if even if it was like a 7-2 match, they would have kept that game going
yeah.
and been like, let's just end it out.
No, but
Yeah,
that's my point. It's like
Yeah,
if a baseball game, a football game, hockey, whatever, if that goes over time, over their allotted time bracket, they'll
yeah.
let it stay on. And
yeah.
unless
I,
the only thing that interrupts sports, I feel like is like president,
Like a world-ending
like
event.
the president
Something.
yeah.
making a State of the Union address or like some kind of fucking breaking news.
Yeah, no,
And
some
I'm
sort
pretty
of like
sure
really severe
I'm
breaking news is like the only thing that really breaks that.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure people are watching WWE more than baseball. I mean, I can look up the statistics. I'll look up the statistic later just for my own approval of. Uh, but I'm pretty sure that baseball doesn't give them numbers anymore. Like,
No, who the fuck
Well,
cares?
Scott, as somebody that does work in baseball, I can tell you from personal experience that I have no idea if you're right or not because I don't see the analytics
Yeah.
from my side of the job.
I don't know. I feel like it also depends on what time of the year for baseball.
yeah,
The
true.
beginning of like opening week, I would disagree with you. That baseball probably gets a little more ratings than uh,
Yeah,
pro wrestling.
It,
Like
it truly does
I would
depend
say
on
like
what time.
opening week, All Star weekend, and like the last month of the season probably gets better ratings, and then obviously the playoffs. And that goes for almost any sport except football. Football is the only thing that doesn't matter what week it is. If you're a fan of a team and it's on TV, you're gonna watch it. Which these motherfuckers need to get on TV. Stop. I don't understand. We share a border with Pennsylvania. Why is Pittsburgh not local market? I don't fucking get it.
Because the state already has to accommodate for.
Huh?
Your state specifically already has 2 teams to accommodate.
Okay, I understand that, right? But I'm talking about I was literally talking to Chrissy about this morning, and I was pissed off about it then, because the Steelers tend to always fucking play at they always get the Sunday game, but they're the 1:00 game, right? They always wind up getting the early Sunday game. The Giants and the Jets almost always wind up at night, or they're just not on Sunday. They're either Thursday.
That is 100% not true.
No.
There have been plenty of 1:00 New York Giants games, dude.
Okay, but I'm saying a lot of times the Steelers are on, the Giants aren't on yet, the Jets aren't on yet, and the Bills aren't on yet. At that point, the only local market team that should be there is Philly, and they'll be
yes,
odd.
Please. Yeah.
Listen, man,
Dom, tell me more, please. Tell me more. I don't know how that feeling is.
I know, but you know what? Your team
over
is
here
fucking over. No, your team is over a fucking 1,000 miles away from you. You should be bitching because that's not local market. That's your own fucking problem. That's what you get for liking a team in Florida and living on the East Coast.
How far is Pittsburgh of a drive from you?
It's 5 hours. It's not that far.
Oh, it's only 5 hours. Scott, did you hear that? It's only 5 hours.
Yeah, only 5 hours. It's the same.
It's a long ass fucking. It's a long ass drive.
That's a fucking day trip.
Okay, but fucking what about Buffalo? Buffalo's 7 hours away, and they beat out Pittsburgh on the fucking local market.
They're a New York team.
I'm in Jersey.
The only New York team.
The logic still doesn't stand.
All right. You know what?
Okay, hold on. There's something I wanted to say about Goldberg.
If you for some reason are watching this, we want to send you a personal link to get into our Discord, because Dom has a whole lot of very strong words for your scheduling choices, sir.
My point being, if Pittsburgh is playing at Sunday at 1:00. Why the fuck am I watching a game that's San Francisco versus Houston? That has nothing to do with the East Coast. Put the fucking Pittsburgh game on.
There is something I wanted to say about Goldberg.
Yes, back to the topic. No, go back to the topic.
Oh yeah, we're a wrestling podcast.
Do not. There's two things. One, I want to reassure him, and two, I want to yell at fans. One is Goldberg. Do not worry about laughing when Gunther chopped you. If anybody is going to tank a chop, you are the guy that's going to tank that chop.
All right, you know what?
That's what made it. That's what made it so good.
I was oh damn, he did that shit. I was wow.
Right? Especially since we know how Gunther's chops are portrayed.
And he's the only one that's ever sold his chops.
Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. Usually I have a problem with guys no selling moves and stuff like that.
But for him, it works.
I had a problem with this one.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at this.
Yeah, for him, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
The dude had the longest undefeated streak of all time.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for him. All right, last question on this topic, and then we're going to move on to on this subject. Then we're going to move on to something else.
One more thing. I just want to yell at the fans. I want to stop hearing people slander Goldberg just because he never learned how to wrestle. I mean, to be honest, if we were in his situation, I'm pretty sure we would have been willing to go right in the ring anyway. And people need to stop siding with Bret Hart, because at this point, he's just an 80-year-old man who just has a temper tantrum.
He's just a bitter old fuck.
Goldberg deserved a retirement match. He didn't want a title. He didn't want a title match, if I've seen the interview correctly. He wanted a retirement match. He didn't care about having it for the
if
title.
it was a title match. I think WWE just wanted to make it a title match.
And okay, I understand Goldberg. I mean, maybe not as important as the Undertaker, but he's pretty damn close when it comes to the wrestling business.
The dude's
I
a
mean,
legend.
he
He's a Hall
has
of Famer.
been one of the most memorable ones because of his undefeated streak in WCW and owning people like The Rock when you first come into WWE.
To me,
And it's just
the moral of the story is
yeah.
WWE never really treated him right. You know, even
Mm-mm.
back in the day when he came over from WCW and signed with WWE. You know, they always kind of tossed him to the wayside. Like he kind of they made him out to be like the big threat that he was, and this and that. And kept his like aura, but like there's a reason the dude left when he did. Like he was fed up with WWE and Vince McMahon.
All right, I got one last question for you guys, and then we're gonna move on to a different part, and then we're gonna move on to a different subject.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Goldberg has already hinted at the idea that he was not particularly happy with how this match went.
Nope.
He's already said that he felt very disappointed in that being his last match. So I'm just going to raise the question right now. Was his last match his last match?
I think it's his last match in WWE.
Yeah, I mean,
going anywhere else
I could see him maybe doing like a last match in AEW or something.
in
Like,
AEW?
Like just because. Just for shits and giggles
Really?
kind of thing. Because dude, fucking AEW is basically WCW 2.0 at this point.
Okay, in that case, I'll ask this question then.
I have no idea who it would be.
This last year, we had praised AEW for their handling on the final days of another
Sting,
WCW legend, Sting. We praised AEW for their handling of that.
Mm-hmm.
Should Goldberg decide AEW as his last stomping grounds, do we see them handling it with the same level of care that they did with Sting? I personally think they would.
I think they would.
They hold a lot of I think they hold a lot of care when it comes to, the legends of wrestling and stuff like that. So I personally think that they could handle that very well. Scott, you've been very quiet. Your
Unless your name
thoughts
is
on
Chris
all
Jericho, but that's a different story.
I don't know. I kind of don't want to see him go anywhere else. He does not really. I mean, Chris Jericho is like an anomaly, and what's his name? Like the ones wrestling now are an anomaly, but the other ones are also known.
Yeah.
The other ones are known from being at jumping to other brands of wrestling. Goldberg really was the guy that was like, all right, I'll go here. Yes. Oh, I'm done. He kind of, I don't remember, you guys can correct me, but I don't remember him going somewhere else. He just, I have a chance to go WWE. All right, let me just continue my wrestling career.
That was the thing. He only went to WWE because WCW got bought out. And that was the only reason. Like he didn't want to go to WWE. He
probably didn't even want to continue.
He did it because it was his job. He needed money. He had a young kid.
Who I hope is going to be in the training to be a wrestler.
The kid is a fucking animal already. You could see it.
That kid. If I knew nothing about that kid,
just
if I did not
him,
know his
like,
name
goddamn.
whatsoever, just looking at him, I'd say, "Oh yeah, that's Bill's kid."
Yeah, like you look at that kid and like he walks with him and he's like, "Holy fuck!" Like he's just as big as his father. It's wild, and he's only like 19.
19 years old.
Like 19, 20. He's in college. I know that much. Like he plays football in college.
Nah, that's a big boy, and I see if I see him doing anything else in WWE, I think it is to push Gage.
Yeah, like I can see him
give Gage a hand.
So here's the thing: I don't know if Gage has ever like come out and said that he even wants to wrestle or anything like that.
You have to imagine that they've at least had the conversation.
I'm sure, but like I feel like that he might follow like Bill's route to wrestling. Like I could see him going for a football career, like going trying for the NFL, and if that doesn't work, then he could fall back onto wrestling. Um, Now the only trick is where does he go? Does he go the indie
Goes
route?
NXT.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's like does WWE respect Goldberg enough to just give him that?
I
That's
think
my only thing, because I don't know if they do, because I know Triple H and Goldberg never really got along.
well, here's the thing. I don't know how much of it has to do with the respect they have for Bill and the actual wrestling capabilities that Gage
Yes,
has.
I agree, but at this point, I don't believe Gage is trained at all, so he would be starting from scratch at 20 something years old. Um, which it obviously isn't hard because Dominic Mysterio did it, but Dom Mysterio has been preparing for a career in pro wrestling since he was a kid.
He's been preparing since he was, his basically livelihood was hanging on top of
I
a
would,
ladder.
Yeah,
So
I would love to see
I would love to see.
Gage
Yeah,
in. I mean, I would be great to have to continue the your next persona and just have Goldberg be like
his manager.
Goldberg, because
Like what?
Goldberg is good enough where he can talk on the mic, and so he
Exactly.
can just be
Goldberg
he
can
can
cut
be
a
the person
promo.
that says he can be like you're next to face my son, and he can like promote him because he's
Yeah.
probably he'll probably promote him as being more successful and better
Yeah.
athlete because he's
Because like,
my son.
can you imagine how fucking terrifying that would be? Can you imagine like, fucking like let's say they sign him to NXT, right? He does his training at the PC and he's ready to make his debut. And like whoever the NXT champion is at the time, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna issue an open challenge to anyone who wants to try to take this belt from me." And fucking
Please
and
keep
fucking Goldberg.
the
No,
song,
yeah,
please
that's what I was gonna say. Goldberg's
develop
music
that
hits.
song.
Let the fucking
Yeah,
kid come out. But so like instead of, so remember how it was always the, oh my god, I can't think of his name now. It was the head of security from WCW that would always walk him to walk
yes,
Bill to the ring,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
right? Have Bill be the guy that knocks on the door. Fucking Gage comes out and walks him out to the ring. They do the fucking pyro and everything. Like, just let him be Goldberg 2.0. Like,
I think the first time that's absolutely perfect.
yeah, not every
After
week.
that, I feel like it would run its course very quickly.
Oh, you don't think him having the same entrance would be cool?
You can go with a rendition of that, but eventually the kid does have to build his own identity. I
Yeah.
think
No, I agree, but like I think for the first one, I think it would be a cool like
first
nod
time
to his
ever,
dad.
100%. I get
Because it's like
100%.
you're also
It'd be
not going to
sick.
have Goldberg there every week to walk him out to the ring.
No,
But like maybe keep like the music or like maybe like tweak it a little bit, like let him have his own spin on it.
honestly, if you add like a guitar riff on that shit,
That's what I'm saying. Instead of like the horns, like have it be like a fucking heavy metal, like almost
like
like
a
a
heavy
fucking
metal
like a
rendition.
Halo entrance sounding kind of shit. Like the
yeah.
same music, just like make it heavier.
I can see that. I can agree with that. All right. There was one other topic in regards to Saturday Night Main Event that I want to talk about. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's raising a lot of confusion for me personally. Um, so right before that match, we had mentioned it before. There was a match between Seth Rollins
Mm-hmm.
and Mr. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the match, um, Seth was going for. I keep calling it a lion salt, but because that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was coming down, it seemed that he had tweaked his knee. Um, and they played it off like this isn't a script. No, he really did like screw up his knee again. There was a doctor, there was a ref, and there was what looked to be a very, very quick finish
Yeah.
with
They hit.
with Seth losing the match. They ended it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so originally, when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my face went white,
Mm-hmm.
like pale white, because you have built your entire brand basically around this new faction of Seth Rollins and the Bronze. And so for an injury to be happening right now to a character so critical to your product right now, the guy who holds the briefcase, an injury to him is catastrophic.
Yeah.
It's the worst possible thing that could happen because now your entire year could be ruined.
Yeah, and they just brought Roman back too.
And they just brought Roman back and everything. So an injury to
For 3 weeks,
Seth
I heard.
could be
Mm.
could be catastrophic.
Yeah.
So
Um,
now here's the thing. A lot of people seem to think this is a work, however. And due to the simple fact that they have not stripped Seth of the briefcase yet, technically.
Well, because he has a year to use it.
He has
He
a
has
year to
until
use it. They
June.
also haven't really clarified how long he's going to be gone.
Well,
They
yeah.
haven't clarified the severity of the injury.
Yeah. I
Um,
I think
there's a lot of unclear messaging happening here, so I want to get your guys' take on this.
yeah, so like my opinion on this one, I think it wasn't a work at first, but it is now, if that makes sense. So I think he legitimately hurt himself, right? Doing that the moonsault, lion salt, whatever. But then the injuries weren't as bad as they thought. So then now they're gonna work with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think because what I saw from what I've seen, just rewatching the spot and the spot that led up to it. I don't think it was the landing that hurt his knee. I think it was the move that happened right before that. Right when he does that like senton onto LA Knight,
Right.
because the way he landed, he kind of landed so one leg out like this, and then the other on top, like the knee hit on top, and like his leg flexed weird. So I wouldn't be shocked if like maybe he hyperextended that knee muscle, like maybe the ACL or the MCL, maybe that hyperextended, but didn't break, didn't rip, nothing, nothing crazy. So then when he hit
Mm.
that lion salt and landed, then he really felt it. He was like, "Oh wow, okay, fell." Talked to the doctors. Was like, "I could finish the match, but we got to finish now. We got to go home right now." So LA Knight hits it, this and that. They did the because I know they said they were doing MRIs the next day. I think they saw, okay, you didn't break anything. You just kind of strained the muscle. It's like a bad sprain. It's nothing crazy, right?
Okay.
I think because that is his bad knee. That is the knee that was injured the last time.
That's the knee that keeps
So
getting hurt.
I think that maybe okay, he sprained it and it hurts, so he panicked and like was like, oh my god, I can't, So that's why they finished so fast. I think that he's fine, and like they'll clear him in a couple, maybe a week or two, but he's good to go, kind of thing.
Mm.
So now, but because of that, because it was like, oh shit, he's hurt. Now they have to make it a storyline. So I think now, because I know he went to he did an interview. He had a brace on, crutches, and this and that.
hiding his entire body is open except for that one, except for his leg that's somehow behind the desk.
Yeah,
It was weird the way he was sitting behind the desk. But it was
yeah,
only
Yeah,
the
it was.
leg was getting covered.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm. Part of me thinks that it wasn't at first, but is now a work.
Mm.
I think it's very much going to be like the fucking Kevin Nash in the wheelchair with the fake cast, and then he throws the blanket off and stands up, kind of thing. I think they're gonna pull a little something like that, maybe.
feel like
Yeah,
it's going to happen at
That's what
SummerSlam
I'm
when
saying. Like,
Punk
he's
wins.
probably gonna.
If Punk wins,
I think what's gonna happen. I don't think he's not going for the heavyweight title. First off, I think he's going after the world championship. First off, if he cashes in, I don't think he wants the heavyweight championship.
I mean, if Punk goes for that, if Punk goes for the heavyweight, then he's probably going to go for the heavyweight. He's like, because he said he's going to do anything not to make you champion.
That is true, but I could also see him cashing in.
Just to
what?
Just to clarify what you're saying here, you think he's going to cash in on Cena, or you think he's cashing in on Gunther?
I think he's cashing in on whoever wins the Cena Cody match.
I think I think he's going to cash in when Punk wins against Gunther.
Hear me out. Let's say, because Cody's been like teetering the line a lot lately of turning heel. He's like right fucking there.
He's got one foot in the door.
Yeah. Oh. He's opened the door and leaned in. He's like one step away.
Be honest, he's basically the door.
So hear me out.
We have a live interruption, live news interruption.
All right, hit me.
Bleacher Report. I'm not going to click into it, but the site. But Bleacher Report just posted something about WWE. WWE PLEs coming to theaters. First ever 2-night SummerSlam kicks off partnership with Fandango and WWE.
Yo, that's sick. I saw that was a possibility earlier today.
So you can watch WWE. Hey, boys, you want to watch SummerSlam in the theaters that weekend? I'm off on Saturday.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I won't be able to do that because I'm going to be at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm going to be at SummerSlam. Fuck you. Okay? How about that?
What do you want me to tell you? Birthday. What do you want me to tell you?
You have to make index cards soon and just hand them out to people.
Business cards,
like business cards. Yeah, man. Yeah. You have to make in business cards. It'd be perfect.
No, yeah, but so back to what we were saying earlier. Cody has basically opened the door and like stuck his head in to see who's there.
Only to see one very...
This wouldn't be like the final fucking straw for him. He wins the championship back from John Cena at SummerSlam, right? He goes through all this shit to get John Cena at SummerSlam. He knocked him out, made him sign the contract, this and that. Finally gets in there, redeems, gets his belt back from the man who betrayed him. And then what happens? Seth Rollins comes out, fucking curb stomps the shit out of him and takes it right away.
I think he just kills the first person he sees at that point.
I'm saying. That would be the ultimate fucking straw that breaks the camel's back moment. Like, it's like, I finally got my hands back on this title that I worked so hard for, and Seth Rollins is here to kick me in the dick and take it away.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And most importantly of all, you all cheered for him while he did it.
Mm-hmm. Because I can tell you now, I would pop
because
off like
for
a motherfucker.
some reason, I think that when Cody Rhodes turns heel, this is going the same road as Drew McIntyre's heel turn.
Yes, everyone's going to be
because
behind him.
People have pointed out
he'll be justified.
A million reasons as to why he did it, and unlike John, he will actually be right.
Yeah,
with what he was saying.
Yeah.
Scott,
he won't blame the fans.
I will be right back. I have to step
Scott,
away from
your take, and then we're moving on.
All right. So, my idea for Seth Rollins, and I heard somebody say it on TikTok, is he said from the very beginning that whatever you go, whatever chance you have at a championship, I'll be there to stop you no matter what. And I think CM Punk could be the perfect person to beat Gunther, especially since I feel like that second title reign of Gunther's was just so he can have a title match against Goldberg, which wasn't needed. So he comes in, Punk finally wins it, and we get a Drew McIntyre situation. It just happens to Punk, and it's like a haha, look what happened. You made fun of McIntyre when he won it and got pinned from this briefcase, and looks like it just happened to you too now. And
Yeah,
it
but
would,
that doesn't make Punk a heel, though. That just makes Seth even more petty than he's already been.
yeah, that's where I see it going towards in
I mean, Seth
the
Rollins is a
storyline.
petty
If it
bitch.
is a
Oh,
work
he
now,
is,
since
without
it's not
question.
injured.
See, here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. A lot of me is also hoping that he's cashing in on John or Cody, because I'm frankly tired of the Seth Rollins CM Punk thing.
Yeah, I get that.
I've seen too much at this point. This is becoming a new never-ending story.
It is.
Dom, re-download the button.
I feel like
I
we have to
don't
keep
know
it
why
on
you
there
ever
now
got
just
rid of the
because
button.
it's Triple H. We're gonna have to keep the never-ending story button
He
because it's
loves
always gonna come back.
long-term storytelling.
It's
Kind of a little too much.
ancient term of storytelling. It's becoming century-long storytelling. I don't know. We will see. We will see.
It's very long storytelling.
Seth, obviously, if you are really injured, man, and I do believe you are, I don't think you're lying about that. Obviously, we do wish you a speedy recovery, and for you to cash in on John Cena or Cody. Please, not the world heavyweight title. Anyway, moving on. The very next night, there was another PLE happening, and that was the second ever all women's premium live event Evolution. I'm gonna be honest with you about something. I did not love the marketing leading up to this event. I thought it was very weak. It was very scarcely placed out. Didn't feel like I really understood everything that was going on. And I thank God when I say that they actually put on a show that I think was infinitely better than the first one.
I agree. Yeah,
I think it was,
the
I think it
new
was
Yeah.
Evolution was so much better.
I think it was infinitely better. Oh, the match between Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. I don't know that this is her last match ever, Trish.
I don't think so.
But if it is, this was a really nice send off to her. Nikki Bella in that battle royal, girl put in work. I'm
She
just
did.
saying.
Okay, she did, but I am fucking tired of Nikki Bella. I don't think she's that good.
I understand that. I get that.
Yeah,
But
I
you know,
understand that.
you got to give the devil her due at this point.
No, I do. Like I said, I think she did very well in that battle royal, but I think Nikki Bella is one of those wrestlers that's just very overrated. She's not that talented. To me, she lost all of her appeal when her when the twin magic thing that she used to do got found out. Like
I
when
would
she used
somewhat
to
agree
crawl
with
under
that.
the ring and then Bray would come
I
out.
think the whole thing with Nikki really died down when they brought up people like Charlotte, Becky, Sasha.
Like she was great for the Divas era, but past that, meh.
When we started advancing with women's wrestling is when you really started to notice, oh yeah, no,
Like
oh
she's not
god,
great.
like, no, compared to who's coming up and who followed her,
Yeah.
oh my god, like it's not even comparable. But the big story out of Evolution was the main event between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. What I will say about the match is very simple, and I feel like I say it often when it comes to specifically the Monday Night Raw women's division. These are two women that do not know how to put on a bad match.
I agree.
No,
And when they do, it's not their fault.
Exactly.
These
it was
are two
great.
women that do not know how to put on a bad match. And then they threw me They genuinely threw me for a curveball here. Because I don't think in about a million years, you could have given me a million tries, and I don't think I would have ever seen the Naomi cash in coming.
No, that was so fucking out of nowhere for me.
She
Not during
had
Evolution.
she had everybody convinced that Tiffany was the one she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
She was going for Tiffany. She was going for Tiffany. It was going to be Tiffany versus Jade at SummerSlam. It would have made perfect sense had Naomi stepped in and taken the belt away from Jade. 100%. It would have made perfect sense to just continue that storyline forever and ever and ever, despite the fact that Naomi keeps getting her ass kicked every single time she's in the ring with Jade.
Yeah.
But it would have, story wise, it would have made perfect sense. This was a complete curveball. Complete. I never saw this coming.
No,
And I don't mind that.
dumbfounded.
Yeah, it's very rare, knowing what we've been through the past 10 years, that we'd be thrown off and we actually like it. Like
Yeah.
we had no problem with it. Normally we'd have an issue. Normally.
Normally, I'll say this, when it comes to Money in the Bank cash ins, you have a sense as to who they're going for. Unless
Yeah.
they do something like really wild, like they did with Austin Theory.
Mm.
That was not only completely out of left field, but also terrible. It is the worst cash in I think I've ever seen.
Didn't he go
Um,
after like the US title?
Yeah.
Went after the U.S. title and then he lost anyway. So I really did not understand that one. Um, this was a complete. This was a complete curveball, and it's entertaining as hell. I have to be honest with you. When this started, I was very iffy on this new character that Naomi was doing. I'm still not fully sold into it. But what I do love about it is just the absolute randomness of it. There is no plan when it comes to Naomi, and I almost think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
Nothing else from either one of you guys?
No,
I got nothing else.
I fully
No.
agree. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to really be all in on her like that, and I'm still not fully sold on heel Naomi, but she's definitely has more potential than she used to. I can tell you that much.
Uh,
Uh, I mean, I've never was a big fan of Naomi. Her characters always seemed boring to me. But uh, yeah, this is I've definitely caught my attention now. I'm definitely going to pay attention to what happens with her because I mean, if this is resulting in a champion, I was surprised that she won the Money in the Bank briefcase. But now that this resulted in a championship, she has a second chance, and you know, she can probably put on a good show. Definitely,
what's even,
women's division, you can definitely do that if you're on the other brand.
and I think what's even more interesting here is you've immediately thrown her into a storyline with two of the most popular women you have
Yeah. Like,
in your product.
The most over women on the product.
The
It's
two
insane.
most.
Yeah.
You have somebody who this women's division was basically built for her in Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
And you have somebody who the fans absolutely adore in Io Sky.
Yeah.
She has such like a grassroots
Rhea's kryptonite.
following when it comes to
Exactly.
her.
Yeah. The only person who like has never
Hasn't.
lost to Rhea Ripley.
And still hasn't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's nuts.
It was, and so it's great in another way because you almost sort of cleverly get around this idea. To be honest, I'm disappointed in the fact that they took the belt off of Io, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand why she can't get a decent title run. But
honestly, I think it's
This one was better than the last one.
it was definitely. I honestly think it's because of the fact that she can't cut a promo. Not that she can't physically cut promos, like she can cut very good promos in Japanese.
Yes. Yeah, I think that does have a bit to
That
do
it
with it.
definitely hinders her because she can't. How do you build storylines when one of the people in the storyline can't get their point across because half of their promo is in Japanese? Which isn't like a hindrance to her because she's a phenomenal wrestler. She cuts a great promo, but like not being able to cut a
She's limited
promo
in what she can
entirely in
say.
English, they're very limited to what they could do for her storyline. That's why she's always having matches with Rhea because with Rhea they have the constant battle of you've never beaten me.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all they
And
need.
that's something that
You know? And then like you can't like pair her up with like Asuka because it's like what are you gonna do? It's like you have two people who are only speaking Japanese now. Nobody has any idea what the fuck is happening.
yeah, I agree.
Like it's great for a one-off match, but it's not good for like a long-term story.
No, I agree. I completely agree. Um but yeah, I think not it didn't have much of my attention when we first turned Naomi heel.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had her won Money in the Bank, and it piqued me a little
Yeah.
because she was the one person in there that I never even considered to win, and that's on me. That's me. I sure as hell never expected her to cash in on the opposite show.
Yeah.
Especially after she had made it so clear that she was going after Tiffany.
I think honestly, I think they were just doing that just to not even have anyone expect her to cash in like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, man. But we will see. We will see how this goes with her. Anyway, let us now move to a different show.
Hey,
Let's talk about.
E.
Yeah, for
That's
once,
right, Scott. We're
not-
talking about your favorite promotion.
Oh God.
We're talking about your favorite promotion, Scott. We're talking about AEW All In.
And for
Now,
once,
And for-
we're not here
and
to
for the
just
fans-
talk shit.
And for the fans, I watched the whole thing. Cap said to watch the highlights. I wasn't happy with watching just the highlights, so I went and watched the whole thing. So I have a good description of what I'm talking about this time.
You know what? God bless you, man, because that's a lot of wrestling to get through. That is a
Yeah.
lot of wrestling to get through. But as is when it comes to AEW, All In turns out to be their best show of the year. And this one was no different. This one was absolutely no different. There was a lot of great moments in this. A lot of great moments on this show. A lot of fantastic wrestling on this show. And it was capped off by, honestly, one of the better Jon Moxley matches I've seen in a very long time.
Before I have to put some hate into AEW, so let me do this before I
Here we
put
go.
constructive.
Right, yeah,
Before before reasonable
Say that ends in
criticism,
Y, so,
let
you know.
let me start off with some random hate. People kept saying, especially AEW fanboys, kept going after WWE because they were like, oh, why would you put Saturday Night Live the same night as AEW All In? All In's like their WrestleMania. Why would you do such a terrible business decision? I just want everybody to know. I
Because
like
can.
looking up the statistics. I like looking up statistics. So if there's a chance to, I'm gonna do it. And a week ago, I looked up the statistics like I usually do about what's the viewership count in these shows. And let me just say, don't question AEW versus WWE. It's not a competition. AEW is having a hard time getting more viewers than NXT. So how about they go past NXT first before we start talking about them versus WWE? Because there's a huge gap. A huge gap in between the two.
Yeah, I understand you got in some beef on TikTok with somebody about that. I did.
It was,
Yeah, I that.
I'm telling you, it was really funny because I posted it. He responded. I went to go respond to him, and then it like disappeared. And so I was like, "Oh wow, he deleted his comment," which I don't think he knew I saw because it was kind of quick, and I respond quickly because I was on my phone. Um, and then it took him a whole day, and he comes up with the same excuse, just reworded. And he never replied because I went like this. I'm like, wow, you deleted your comment and took you an entire day to respond, and that's what you come up with? And then I did 2 laughing emojis, and he never responded.
Scott's out here trying to start beef with everybody.
And every
That
time I start beef,
Scott.
you'll see on the comment section, follow the Push Wrestling. I do it every time. I comment on
Yeah,
stupid people's on wrestling things,
I
and I
did look
put
at
it.
the whole thing you were saying. You could have at least left a link for people, man. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Gonna do that, at least like leave a link or something, man. Like
But all right,
um
yeah, let's go with what's actually talking about it because we have there was a lot of good stuff.
yeah, no, there was a lot of good stuff. There was a lot of good stuff on this show. Edge came back, by the way. Just saying. And I love that.
We might be getting Edge and Christian in AEW.
It seems to be this thing of like they're see, they had AEW Dynamite the Wednesday after, either the Wednesday or Thursday after.
Mm-hmm.
And Edge specifically said, "Did I do it to save Christian?" No. He did it because he's now in a feud with FTR.
Hmm.
The thing about that is FTR is a tag team. So you need another guy.
Yeah.
A guy who a lot of people thought was your brother, possibly. I did, at least. For a very long time, I thought they were brothers.
So you think we're gonna get Edge and Christian versus FTR?
I think at this point you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, you
You've
had them
come,
feud with each other. Now you can put them together.
yeah, because his whole faction thing with Nick Wayne and the other guy.
Yeah, that was a hot mess.
That kind of fell through. So,
Kinda.
well, he was about to smack him with a concerto. So, kind of is. I'm using very loose terms here.
Yeah.
Edge just has to stop with distractions. They just don't work out.
I mean, rated FTR was a really cool name, man. So, like, I thought it was a cool name.
It
And yeah,
sounds
like I said, it was capped off with what I would kind of say is their version of an Avengers Endgame moment, because during the Texas Death Match between Adam Page and John Moxley. By
Only
the way,
took about
another
35 seconds for Moxley to start bleeding.
Took him a whole minute. Be fair now, it took him a whole minute
Oh, excuse me.
to start bleeding. But yeah, Adam Page didn't end up winning. There was a bunch of interference between John Moxley's group, the Death Riders, and various members of the AEW locker room, including one Swerve Strickland. For those of you who are maybe not aware, for like the past year and a half, Adam Page and Swerve have been involved in some of the most gruesome matches I have ever seen. I think they genuinely hate each other as people. Like, that seems to have been squashed, however, because Swerve did prove to be helpful to him in this match. So, like I said, Adam Page did win this belt, and he is the new AEW World Champion. So, my question is to you guys this. I feel a big problem with AEW, specifically over the past year or so, has been the fact that this title run with John has been so weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so weird. It made no sense whatsoever. In the beginning, he was addressing some sort of like alternative power that was behind AEW and all that stuff, and it was never really clarified what he was talking about. And then he kind of just like at some point dropped it midway, and it's like, no, it's me and the Death Riders. We're just taking over AEW. We carry the world championship in a briefcase for some reason.
Because why not?
And it was just so bizarre, man.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. Do we, especially after seeing this show, feel like there is the potential for a hard reset here when it comes to AEW? Because I've been keeping a close eye on the product. Again, we don't talk about AEW a lot on this show, but I've been keeping a close eye on this product, and there's quite a few things in AEW that I actually really like right now. I, you know, sort I, I like this new sort of Hangman Adam Page character where he's definitely done some like wildly horrible things in the past, but clearly the man steps up when it's the right thing to do. Um there are other guys too. I'm a fan of Swerve. I'm a fan of MJF with the Hurt Business now, or Hurt Syndicate. I'm not sure what they're really
Whatever the
called.
fuck they are at this point. I heard something.
They're called it's they could be called the Beatdown Clan for all I know. Um, but MJF is with them, and I'm a big fan of whatever MJF chooses to be doing because he's that entertaining of a wrestler.
Because he's
Darby Allin is back, and I'm always a fan of Darby.
worth watching on AEW.
Exactly, Darby Allin is back, and I'm a big fan of him. There's a lot of cool things that are happening in AEW right now. Tony Storm, how could I possibly forget about Tony Storm? Probably
Yeah.
the most popular performer in AEW.
That is true.
We feel like after the really solid showing that we saw it All In, this is a chance at a hard reset for AEW.
Yeah, maybe if fucking Tony Khan pulls his head out of his ass and books properly.
I mean, I'll give AEW this because I feel like WWE is starting to hit into the death of the babyface. AEW has better baby faces. I feel like the only one WWE has is Cody.
And even that is like...
As we're seeing, that's very
on the
quickly
bullet-
dying.
No, Punk is a babyface.
Punk is a babyface,
Yeah.
but he's also CM
Like-
Jey
Yeah.
Uso is a babyface. Just because you don't like him doesn't mean he's not a babyface.
Yeah.
I
But
do
compared to AEW's baby faces, it kind of falls. Jey Uso kind of falls short a bit.
Well, yeah, because AEW is still very much doing the cookie cutter stereotypical babyface versus WWE is trying to like redefine the babyface and like kind of make them more relatable
Aggressive.
and aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. The John Moxley match, I kind of didn't like that much when you talked about it. That was kind of one of my least favorite matches when I went and saw everything, just because of the fact that
I just hate that
you just so quickly. I mean, I mean, if you're having John Moxley, that's the only thing he can do. I mean,
That's
there's a
like
reason
all-
he left
that's all
WWE.
he likes to
There's a
do.
reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's not a part of WWE. It's not only because he wanted to leave; it was also because you were the worst one out of the three, by a long shot. The worst
It's
one
not
out of the
even-
three.
It's not even that. He
and-
always said he always wanted to do that, like death
Yeah.
matches, but WWE doesn't do that shit.
Yeah, and I mean, the death matches. They're just. We can't have every match where you're just bleeding all over the place. We need to see some of your skill because constantly hitting someone with weapons, it's very entertaining because it's like, because we're grown-ups and that type of violence is like very entertaining when it's not really that bad. But it's like, well, Tim, it's worse than,
No, it's bad.
yeah. Well, but
There's
like,
a reason I refuse. There's a
It
reason
just
when I
doesn't-
was wrestling, I refuse. Absolutely not.
It just doesn't catch my eye anymore. That type of wrestling, and I feel like the fact that we usually have issues with AEW and Moxley has that title kind of shows that he's not like he's main event caliber. He just does. He's not someone that should be carrying a show or shouldn't be
Yeah.
having that title that much.
Here's my thing. Like, he could do so much, but he only wants to do death matches. So it's like,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I never had the appeal. I've never enjoyed the idea of death matches. I don't. It's not something I enjoy. So like to me,
I'm gonna be
like,
honest.
it's
I
just
go back and
unnecessary.
forth. I go back and forth with how I feel about death matches, to be honest, because obviously I'm somebody who grew up on like old school ECW, so
No.
clearly I like I like extreme rules
Yes,
matches.
that's what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
mind like an
There's a
extreme
certain
rules match,
bit of
but it goes too far. When you have a fucking
that's my
trampoline
thing.
made
There's
of
a
barbed
certain bit of
wire, it's a
tastelessness
little
when
too
it
far.
comes to there's a certain bit of tastelessness when it comes
Yeah,
to
it's just two people fucking beating each other up with random
Both
objects.
both brands need to. Both brands have a problem with their, you know, more hardcore type matches. WWE needs to ramp it up a bit,
Yeah,
and
and AEW
AEW
needs to
needs
tone it down.
a
to tone
lot.
it down.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
They
saying.
need
Like,
to
Yeah.
a
if
lot.
that's the thing, my thing with like I have no problem with like extreme rules matches, falls count anywhere, street fights, whatever you want to call them. They're all basically the same fucking
Those
shit
are
anyway.
awesome.
They're
Yeah.
they're fantastic. I love those matches, right? But death matches are a whole nother breed of extreme, because it's like, that's the only place you're gonna go where you're gonna get fucking the light bulbs, the barbed wire fucking trampolines, the tables being lit on fire with thumbtacks on them. Like who
Yeah.
like that's unnecessary for me. Like,
Actually, you know what, Dom? I you mentioned something a little earlier in the segment, and now I want to talk to you about it because was Tommy Bishop ever asked to do a death match?
absolutely not.
Like what is the
Absolutely not. I
explain to
made
us
it very
this, like
clear when I
the
first
feeling
started
of
wrestling. No, when I first started wrestling, I made it very clear from the beginning. I was like, I will do no limits. I will do hardcore. I will do whatever you want to call it. I am not doing a death match. If you want to involve thumbtacks, light bulbs, anything made of glass, I want nothing to do with it. I'll do fucking ladders, tables, chairs, stop signs, garbage cans, baseball bats, hockey sticks, fucking lightsabers.
I
I
don't
don't care. I will like I
lightsaber.
Joey B had like whenever they would do stuff in May, sometimes they would have like as like a funny gag thing, especially if it was like towards May the
Okay,
4th, they would have like
you
the
with
collapsible fucking like lightsaber that you just beat the fuck out of somebody with it. Um,
so
I don't care. I'll do any of that. I'm not doing thumbtacks. I'm not doing light bulbs. I'm not doing barbed wire. I'll fucking bump on Legos. I don't care. I am not doing thumbtacks.
it's crazy that you mentioned all of that in Legos you're still willing to do.
Yeah.
Have you ever stepped on a Lego? Like
Yes, I have. I'll fucking bump on D&D dice. I don't care. I just don't want to bump on something that is going to go inside of me.
fair enough, man, fair enough.
That's just my thing.
Um
I know it's not a fucking like it's not ballet. You got to do whatever. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not doing a fucking death match. I don't want fucking glass. I don't want to fucking go home and have my wife pull thumbtacks out of my back for an hour and a half. You know.
yeah, I can't
They'll be
imagine
pulled out when you finish the match.
she would have
You get
necessarily
my point. You get my point.
No, I know.
I
Yeah.
imagine that, she would I know your wife, so I know she
Dude, she'd
necessarily
kick the
would
fuck
not
out of me.
have felt that.
No.
Um but yeah, no. All in 2025, I think it was a great show. I think that there is a lot of potential for AEW to really move forward when it comes to their product. But here's the thing with it. I've thought this before every time because their all-in shows tend to be their best shows.
No, that's their mania.
Their pay-per-views tend to be absolutely fantastic
Yeah,
pay-per-views.
it's their
I
week
think
to week
on
stuff
average,
that suffers.
I genuinely think on average they have better pay-per-views than WWE does. Depending on the show. Depending on the show.
Yeah, it depends. Like, cause you put it up to any of the big four, absolutely not. Um,
I
but like,
think
I think All In was
no.
better than like Money in the Bank was.
Yeah, I think they're better than most of their B shows.
Mm-hmm. Like I said,
Um,
outside of SummerSlam, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania, AEW can compete 100% with their pay per views.
It's their weekly
yeah.
shows that they suffer, though, is the
Yes,
problem.
absolutely, I
So
agree.
I think if they could just finally get that figured out, I
Again,
think we
I
have
think the biggest issue
great
that they
fun.
have is Tony Khan's booking. Because half of the storylines make no sense.
Yeah. Scott, you look like you really have something to say,
We
right?
no, I want to mention up another match because everybody it's a really great moment and everybody hyped it up. But um, Dustin Rhodes winning his title
Mm-hmm.
very disappointing because it literally came out of nowhere. There was I didn't see. I looked down for 2 seconds and he wins a title. I backed it up a bit. It wasn't. He just randomly. I was like, the way he won the title, it showed that he didn't necessarily. It looked like he couldn't do it at the end. He just showed up and just pinned someone very quickly. I don't think he did a finisher or
How did he
anything.
win? What did he
I
roll him
feel
up?
like the three of the guys. I mean, for the beginning of the match, I feel like I barely seen him at all. Like he was barely in there. I feel like he wasn't in there as much. And I understand it's his age, but the other three guys were there so much longer. And I felt like, if I remember correctly, the other three did like a crazy move with each other, to each other. And then I think that Dustin Rhodes like slid in and pinned and won.
Mm.
Because I mean, I might have been. I mean, I could possibly watch it again, see if I'm lying about it, but it just seemed way too quick and sudden that it wasn't even. You couldn't even have a hyped moment. The hyped moment was when he had the title in his hands. Normally, you get the hyped moment when they win, when the 3 count hits.
Yeah.
I felt like everybody was stunned to see it. It was like, oh, I mean, I was like, obviously, we didn't expect him to win it, but like, I didn't know he won it. To be honest, but it was very quick. I felt like he didn't like finish it in like spectacular
So
for his
you're
like his
saying
own
it
moment.
wasn't like a definitive win. It was just
It
like
wasn't
kind
a
of a
definitive
Yeah,
win. The problem.
yeah, like he
I
didn't
mean,
have
I
his
do
own
think we
moment
need
to show that
to take
he
into
won it. He just
consideration.
like rolled in.
I mean, I do think we need to take in consideration here the fact that Dustin is kind of on his
60.
last legs here with his career as well.
Yeah,
You know, this title win, for all we know, could be just a really nice send off for
Yeah.
him. Gonna hold the
Yeah,
title
because
for
they
a
could be
bit.
doing like one of the things, like how like they kind of did Ric Flair's retirement, where it's like the next time you lose, you're done. That's it. You know. So
It
it's
could
like
very
when you
much be
lose that
that.
belt, you're retired. Because I know he said he was gonna wrestle until like his contract was up, and that was probably about it.
And we
damn.
are probably getting up to that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. One other thing I did want to point that I just personally think this is interesting, guys. You know, and you can feel about this how you will. We have new Von Erichs in wrestling.
Oh,
His sons are in AEW right now. I believe they're more so in Ring of Honor.
whose sons?
Heavens.
Kevin Von Erichs. Oh,
Von Erich's kids.
what are their names? I know their names, and I can't think of it.
Their names are escaping me right now. If
Shit.
anybody in the comments
Because
section of
I think they've
this,
been in Ring of Honor for a hot minute.
they've been in Ring of Honor for a hot minute, and they were in All In. They were at All In.
Yeah,
Kevin
they
was
were
at
at
All
the
In.
they were at the original All In. Oh, Cap froze. Oh, there he goes.
Were they?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think they were part
But
of the
yeah,
Battle
no,
Royal.
they were at this year's All In, and they are trios champion, I believe, right now. With again, the name is escaping me. I apologize
I'm gonna
for
look it
that.
up.
If anybody's
I got it. I'm looking it up right now.
anybody in the comments knows their names, please drop them in. Please correct me. Say I'm stupid. Please just comment.
You're stupid.
Not you, you idiot. I'm talking about the
Oh, did I
comments
have to? Did I?
bait and
Did I have to comment it?
Oh, I'm trying to
Marshall
bait
and
and
Ross Von Erich.
one more time.
Marshall and Ross.
Marshall and Ross.
Yeah, Marshall and Ross Von
But
Erich
yeah,
are
no,
signed to AEW and its sister promotion Ring of Honor. They are part of the Sons
I
of Texas stable in ROH and are currently 2/3 of the reigning Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions with Dustin Rhodes.
there we go. um, so yeah, guys. Kind of a weird question to be asking. We have Von Erichs in wrestling again.
Oh God.
Again, they've been
Surely-
wrestling with Ring of Honor and AEW for a while now. So
Yes, yes, they have. We haven't. This is the first time we're really talking about them.
yes,
So, how are we feeling about this?
I mean, the Von Erichs were legendary. They really were. Like, yeah, and it's a tragedy what happened to them. That fucking movie made me cry. First off,
That movie made me cry too. Don't worry.
by the end, I was fucking bawling. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, listen,
when
that's-
fucking first off, Zac Efron jacked out of his mind.
Wearing the
Was
Got
worst
facial
wig.
surgery. Got facial surgery that he said he was never going to get.
Did he get facial surgery?
It looked like, because I remember somebody joked around and it was like it looked like he had like a facial reconstruction surgery, and then they showed like a comment early. He's like, "I'll never change anything to my face like these other celebrities
No,
do."
I don't think he did.
And
anything
now
to
he
his
looks
face.
totally
I
different.
think it's just because he put on so much freaking muscle. His head got rounder, like square.
It put on a ton of weight at
His
a really
head puffed
horrible.
up, gained muscle. It's
no,
like
dude,
weird.
the amount of fucking muscle he put on.
But his lips
was
also got
insane.
big. But I don't know if that was
that's
AI
probably
or something.
fucking Botox or some shit. That's not surgery.
Probably.
But yeah,
Um,
he said, but still, I never saw the movie. But
Oh, dude, it's fucking.
You need
gut-wrenching.
to. How have you
So
never seen the movie?
it's him, and like the other big star is I can't think of his name, but he's the dude from,
Jeremy Allen White,
yeah, Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, like
Bear. Another great
Mhm.
show. Love that show, by the way.
he played Kerry Von Erich, right?
Yes. His
Yeah.
brother, yeah.
But dude, when like Zac Efron fucking carried that movie. First off, like he
Yeah.
stole the show. First, like again, looking at him from the guy from High School Musical to now this dude who's playing Kevin Von Erich, who is looks like fucking the Incredible Hulk did steroids. And it's like watching him go through all this stuff, and at the end, like when it's the last scene, so it's like he's the only one left at this point, and like his two sons are playing in the yard and this and that, and he's just sitting there crying, and his sons are like, "Why are you crying, Dad?" He's like, "I used to be a brother once." I was like, "Oh my god, fucking
Like,
just
oh,
rip my heart out, bro."
that's crazy.
Because it's like you spend this whole movie, and it's like him talking about how much his family means to him, and now they're gone. You know, they're all dead. All his brothers are dead. His dad's gone. His mom's gone. You know, it's just him and his wife and his kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like he always got the shit end of the stick because like his dad always favored Kerry, and this and that, and like his father was like extremely manipulative and controlling of them.
Oh, his father was a monster.
Yeah, like he controlled all their money, made sure that they couldn't leave. Like they all lived like in the same area.
Yeah. Oh, his
even,
father
like,
was
even when
beast.
Kerry was supposed to be the booker of fucking the promotion that they ran, he still couldn't be the champion because his father wouldn't let him.
It was insane. It was insane. But yeah, overall, listen, I hope for nothing but success for the
Yeah.
Sons of Texas.
I mean,
It's
they very
personally,
clearly have their father's talent. Like they're
they have their father's talent, and I
fantastic wrestlers.
think, and I genuinely think having Justin Rhodes as a mentor
Oh yeah,
is
it
going
can
to make a
only
big,
be
big
positive
difference.
for them. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big difference because Dustin, I think Dustin is going to be a far better, is a fantastic choice as a mentor
Mm-hmm.
for them. And listen, obviously there is a lot of darkness that comes with the Von Erich name.
Yeah. There's
Through no
the
fault, through
curse.
no faults of their own.
No, it's not. You know, it's the Von Erich curse. You know.
You know, but I think seeing wrestling where it is right now, I think and I pray that this has a much better ending for these
I agree.
guys.
Honestly, I think, if there ever like, because Kevin always says like, oh, there was never a curse. I think if there ever was a curse, Kevin is the one that broke it.
Evan's the one that broke it. His sons are in it now. They have a great mentor in
Mm-hmm.
Dustin.
A much healthier environment
It's a
of
much
that pro
healthy,
wrestling
yeah,
is.
that's
Yes,
another thing. It's a much healthier environment backstage, in ring,
and just in
all of
general,
that stuff.
of
A
pro
much
wrestling as a
healthier
whole. Not just like
wrestling.
because AEW versus WWE or anything like that. It's more,
Yeah,
just
no,
what,
wrestling as a
yeah,
whole was
what
just
Kevin
a
and his
much
brothers
healthier
had to put
environment.
up with would not fly today.
Yeah, and so I truly think that this is going to have a much happier ending
Oh, I
for
agree.
the
Honestly,
for
I
the
think
two.
they can go very far in AEW and possibly one day, maybe show up in WWE. Like they have
Maybe
a lot of work to do. Like they're
a
good
lot of
wrestlers,
work.
but they're
They're
not
not.
like on that level.
They're
But
not
like,
perfect.
yeah, if it shows, but it's not impossible.
No, no, it isn't. But yeah, we will see. We will see, man.
But yeah, I do believe that
Our
wraps it
last,
up. Or no, we have one more.
we got one more. We
All
got
right.
one more thing that we want to talk about, or one more thing that I want to talk about. Um, so last night in TNA, yeah, we're all over
How
the
did I
place
fucking
tonight.
forget?
We're all
Yeah, I sent you the picture in Discord if you have the chance.
Yes, I do
so
have it. Yes,
hit you with a little WWE, hit you with a little AEW. Now we're going to TNA.
NXT.
That's right. We are not just one trick ponies here. Talking
One
about
and a half
NXTNA.
tricks.
Well, now we are
Mm-hmm.
not just one trick ponies. We do at least three tricks.
I'd say like two and a half.
2.5, whatever. Whatever, man. Come on. You give us
Oh,
some
let
credit.
me say before we mention the
We don't
I
have
will say
Francis here.
history breaking. Before we mention the history breaking wrestling event, where I
History
think
making.
history making wrestling event, AEW definitely has better women division.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
I'll confirm
Yes.
that. After watching All In, I was like, I've never witnessed like the oh my god moments like the women wrestlers had for WWE. I never really had it like that. It was like wow.
I think they are far more equal than people give them credit for.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say one of the strongest points in AEW is their women's division.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of women's wrestling,
But yes,
last
back to
night, Scott,
the
yes,
legends of
was
the
right.
day.
There is some history that was made. There was a match between the TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich. I believe you know her.
Well, not
You've
like
heard of her.
fucking good friends with her, but I've worked. I've refed some of her matches and
You
stuff.
you
Yeah.
have you are familiar with Masha.
I've worked with Masha. Yes.
Oh, she's in Warriors
And
Wrestling.
the NXT Women's Champion JC Jane fought in a match which essentially unified the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much unified, but both titles were up for grabs.
Winner take
And
all.
JC won,
Yep.
meaning JC Jane has now become the first woman ever to hold the NXT Women's Championship and the TNA Knockouts title at the same time.
That is
So
fucking huge.
before 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 I say anything, I want to immediately say congratulations to JC. You absolutely deserve it. This is what I'm about to say. Spoiler. It's a little bit negative. I have some mixed feelings in this, but I want to say it has nothing to do with the match itself, and it has nothing to do with JC specifically. But I do have some concerns. I did watch the match. The match was fantastic. Both women did fantastic work. Masha is an absolute natural when it comes to this business. And JC, I have seen, specifically this year, I have seen a lot of growth come out of her. I've seen a lot of growth character wise, I've seen a lot of growth in ring wise. I genuinely believe she is a very talented wrestler. But I have I think that there is a problem that we are having right now that nobody is paying attention to. All right. Because last night there was also a triple threat match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the Men's World Heavyweight Championship. That was between Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and the current TNA champion, uh, NXT's Trick Williams. And Trick ended up retaining his title, which means now
two NXT
your
stars holding
world
TNA
champion
gold.
and your women's world champion are not TNA wrestlers. They're not TNA talent. And I think we are now entering a bit of a problem here. I think we're entering very dangerous waters here.
I want to add my 2 cents here. I don't think this is that bad.
Okay,
I think this is setting something up. To be completely honest,
I'm gonna let you finish, Dom. But I feel like I need to get this off my chest.
No, go.
Um, this is no knock on Trick. This is no knock on JC. They're both very talented wrestlers. But I think that TNA has a problem here because you now have two champions on your two big champions of your men and women's division are not TNA wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
This is essentially you telling them you don't think your own talent is talented enough right now to be holding your titles. And I understand there's been this whole merger that's been going, this very much this collaborative working agreement between TNA and NXT specifically. And I have no problem with that. But we're entering a point here where it's kind of proving that NXT is just sort of like very obviously the more talented brand at this rate. I think they're they're portraying a very scary message here is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And they need to be very careful here.
Yeah. So here's my thing, right? I don't think that's the intent. Like, yes, I see where you're coming from, and I kind of agree that it's weird that your two biggest titles are being held by NXT superstars instead of TNA superstars. My only thing, the only reason I'm not like kind of jumping to that conclusion right now, is I feel like that they're setting up for like an invasion angle kind of thing. So,
Well, I mean, we're
like,
kind of
like basically like no like yes, TNA and NXT superstars are showing up on the other show, right? But I'm saying more on the level of basically TNA is going to get like the TNA superstars are going to get fed up and they are going to take over an entire episode of NXT. Like it's going to be like no, where it's fuck you, this is our show now. You know what I mean? And like this like even set it up to like a Survivor Series type shit where you have like war games where it's TNA versus NXT.
I wouldn't hate that, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Like-
that's what we're working towards right now.
Scott,
So, first things first, I think it's the first time we've ever had it. Not only is she NXT's TNA's championship, but she's also NXT's champion. And I don't know if we've ever had a legit person to have two major titles, in
No,
two separate companies.
She is the first
as
person.
I've said, she's the first woman to ever do this,
Not
to
even
be
that,
both
she's
TNA and
Yeah.
NXT
I believe
champion.
she's
at
the
same time.
first person to hold two titles from two separate companies at the same time. At least from WWE.
And-
At least in WWE's aspect, in WWE's world. I know, obviously,
and
in AEW land, that's very common, but
And I think we are slowly, I think this is the beginning of the new evolution of women's wrestling that's going to take over, just like how Becky and the Fourth Horsewoman with Bailey, because I don't think she's part of, or with Alexa Bliss, I don't think Alexa Bliss they consider Fourth
Alexa was not
Woman.
one of the four horsewomen. The four
She's
horsewomen
not.
was
But she's-
Becky, Charlotte.
Yeah,
Oh my God, Alexa.
with the Force,
Um,
with the four horsewomen and Alexa Bliss,
yeah.
because she basically helped out just as much.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna start entering the new evolution, and women's wrestling is going to get better in WWE,
I agree.
which is going to have to take time to weed out the wrestlers that are kind of overstaying their welcome. I'm not. I mean, it's great. By all means, I like you guys. You guys made women's wrestling a lot more popular, but Charlotte is almost never. It's almost never there. Becky Lynch is starting to show interest in other brands. And we're starting to get the high-end wrestlers of NXT up over, and they're kind of bigger stars now.
Scott,
Like Bailey's the only one that's really holding it, and with her winning like this, oh my God! You can just imagine how people are going to want to watch it more because something like this is happening. And
okay,
You do realize Charlotte and Alexa Bliss are currently a tag team, right?
yeah, but that title's useless though.
okay, Scott.
Um,
Here's the thing, because you didn't answer the question. Do you think there's a problem right now of NXT almost overwhelming TNA right now? Because, like I said, Brick is their world champion. Brick is not a TNA wrestler. JC is their women's world champion. She is not a TNA wrestler. Do you think that there's a problem right now with NXT almost seemingly now overwhelming TNA?
I think the only problem is that it's way too soon. That's the only issue I have with it. Is your NXT, like, it should be at least a fair playing ground where TNA at some point should already have a title, an NXT title under their wing. I just feel like it's way too soon to have a brand dominate another one. I felt like it should have went back and forth. Like, oh, I won your title. Oh, we won it back, but I won your title now. But now it's just, I mean, I do have a little bit of a problem, but I also see the potential in it. But I think it's also way too soon.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I feel like, this working agreement between NXT and TNA is still relatively new. It's been like barely over a year that they've started doing this, and you already have the situation where like NXT is clearly overwhelming your roster now.
Mm-hmm.
Like your roster just straight up seems to be not as good as NXT's is, because if they were, they'd be champions.
Yeah. If she wasn't an NXT wrestler, then this would be different. I would actually really enjoy this because both brands have a title from a different company. But since she's not from WWE, I kind of slightly have an issue. It kind of should have been an even exchange because now it's starting to feel a little greedy, and it's like, oh well, we just wanted more. We have too many wrestlers. We have too many great wrestlers that I kind of want to separate it, and they're using TNA
Yeah. Yeah.
as
So
just that
like,
little doormat into just, oh, I get it, you know, we get to
yeah,
show
I
off our
agree.
talent, and
Because honestly,
Yeah.
all we get is Joe Hendry.
yeah, I agree. Like they should have had like Joe Hendry win the NXT championship.
Or
Be
give
like,
it to
oh,
Santana.
well, but you get my point. Like Joe Hendry is
Yeah.
just the first person that came to mind.
Yeah.
Um,
If
or just
JC
have Masha beat JC at that
if
point.
JC
Like,
was gonna win, and again, I have no problem with JC winning, then Trick should not have won.
yeah, or Trick should
Trick
have
should
lost the
not have taken
title.
the
Yeah.
title.
So this way it was a swap.
So, but now we have a situation where, yeah, it's starting to feel like your entire brand is getting overwhelmed by NXT at this point. It's
Yeah.
starting to feel to me
I mean,
like
for all we know,
because
they could turn around and have like, a,
because
Masha
on
get
top
a
of everything
rematch.
else,
Yeah, they could
on
have
top of
Masha
everything
get the
else,
rematch and get the title back, or both titles
but
back.
on top of everything else, we also have this thing of like, they went into the knockouts division and they took arguably their strongest competitor in Jordan Grace.
Yeah,
There has been clear, clear desire
that Joe
that
Hendry's
once
going
his
to
contract
WWE.
expires, WWE wants Joe Hendry.
Yeah, but I think Joe Hendry's going to the main roster. I don't think he's even going to NXT.
It doesn't matter. WWE
No,
wants him.
I get it.
Is
I
the
get the
thing.
point. But
Um,
but on top of that,
it's
I
starting
think
to feel like they're using it almost as like, well, theoretically, what NXT was supposed to be.
yeah, it's the
TNA
developmental.
slowly feels like it's turning into their developmental brand.
Yeah, and honestly, I said this from the beginning when they first announced that they were doing this deal with TNA. I was like, they're gonna treat TNA like it's their developmental brand. They're gonna scout talent. They're gonna send people down there every now and then. Like they're gonna send, like Trick and JC and you know whoever else. Like they're gonna send them over to TNA, have them do some appearances here and there, and blah 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 blah. But then that also means we get all the WWE superstars that left WWE, went to TNA. We get them back too for guest appearances and special events. Um,
But
but that's what I'm
it's
saying.
also
Like the biggest thing is that they're going to use it to scout talent, to turn around and say, okay, we're interested in signing this person. Let's see how they do.
it also has become this other thing of it's constantly the NXT superstars getting over on TNA.
Yes. No, I agree.
I don't.
There needs
I've
to be some
rarely
balance.
seen a TNA superstar get over on an NXT superstar,
But
unless it's Joe.
yeah, but that's also look at how NXT was. It was always Charlotte Flair goes down to NXT, wins the women's championship in decisive, fucking, very easy, like no contest. Um, but then, Becky Lynch goes down, and like the Iconics would go there with the tag titles, and they would the main roster would always win, and then NXT like sometimes gets a win.
Yeah, but I almost didn't have as much of a problem with that because it was
It was clear
WWE.
that it's their developmental. Yes,
It
I
was
get that.
it was clearly it was solely WWE product when that was happening.
Yeah.
TNA is not a WWE product. The TNA has
Mm-hmm.
a very long history of its own identity.
No, I know. I get it.
And
Like I said, I'm
it
not disagreeing
it's
with you.
slowly
I'm just they're giving NXT is giving TNA the same treatment that they got from the main roster, and like because it's WWE, they're always gonna look at themselves like they're better than everybody else because they are the industry leader of content. They make the most content, arguably the better content. Um, so they're going to act like they're superior. And how are they going to do that? By having them hold gold from other fucking companies because now they're doing that. Um,
it's It's not
Is it
just TNA.
wrong? Yes.
It's not just
It's not
TNA
just TNA.
because
It's AAA too. I know.
yeah,
And it's whoever else they wind up buying in the future. Um, but like I said, I knew it. I said it from the beginning. They're going to treat TNA and now AAA like they're developmental brands because that's what they are to them. Because it was the same thing with OVW.
I don't know, man. Scott, you got anything else you want to throw on this?
Not really. It just probably seems like WWE is just turning into the heel. NXT is turning into the heel brand. And if it's like if hopefully it turns into a big storyline where it's brand versus brand. Because
That's what I'm
if they're gonna
hoping.
lead up to that, if it leads up to that, we're all gonna be like, oh well, we should have just waited and seen.
Yeah.
But as of right now, we're not seeing the future. So right now it's looking selfish. But if it turns out the way we want it to turn out, ooh, it's gonna yeah, AEW might have an
I
issue with
think
TNA possibly going up in the ratings viewerships because of that.
I think we are. I think we're very slowly getting to. I think we're getting to a point where obviously this has to have some sort of story tie-in somewhere within it. But all I am saying is, DNA needs to be careful here. They need to be very careful that they are not sacrificing their own identity as a company
Yeah.
just to, be bringing in WWE checks.
I get you.
I think that's just
I,
something we need to be careful with.
I would like to mention one more topic because this topic could very well be not very well. It's going to be the end of a childhood because TNA Slammiversary. I don't know if it's official yet, but we might be getting the final match of a long saga of probably the greatest tag team feud in the history of tag team feuds. The Dudley Boys want one more match with the Hardys at TNA Slammiversary. With Bubba Ray saying exactly, Hardy Boys, Team 3D, one final time.
I mean, I'm down. Like
I don't
I'm
think
never gonna
anybody
say no to that.
is gonna say no to that. Like seriously.
The only thing I'm worried about is Devon jumping off that top rope to do that little headbutt.
He
Because I
should
don't know if he can do
honestly.
it.
He shouldn't.
You're
He
not worried
shouldn't do
about
the
Jeff.
diving headbutt.
Like,
Um,
you're not worried about Jeff jumping off of God knows what.
like Jeff is gonna do that until the day he dies. He doesn't give a fuck.
His Swanton's got better though.
I know he will. It'll be the last thing he ever does.
Exactly.
God forbid.
No, honestly, I think that would have to be a like possibly even a WrestleMania match.
You could potentially make that a part.
Like do that at
of
WrestleMania or like SummerSlam, like one last match.
If my theory is correct and they are really just like really like absorbing TNA like that,
I mean, they'll do
you
it
could
for Matt and Jeff just because like they're legends, like because
Jeff.
it would be that would have to be their last match, like that for both of them. For you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
they have at that point.
Well, the Hardys have the tag title.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But like, it would have to be they lose the tag titles in TNA, and then the Dudley Boys show up at WWE leading up to WrestleMania because they're the fucking Dudley Boys and they can, and they're like, you know what, we want Matt and Jeff, we want one last match, blah blah blah, whatever. Cut their promo, and then the Hardy Boys show up and accept, and they're like, okay, but it's going to be a TLC match at WrestleMania,
Dear Lord.
But you know they're going to do it.
I know
like,
they are. I know they are, but that's also just horrifying.
Oh, I know. No, it's a terrifying thought, but you can't have the Dudleys versus the Hardys without a swanton off a ladder from Jeff and one of them going through a fucking table from a 3D.
More than
Because
one of
you
them.
can't
going
have the
to
Dudleys last match and not have
tables.
Bubba Ray yell Devon get the tables. Like,
And you
it's
especially can't have a Hardy Boy last match and
without a
Jeff
ladder
not jump.
involved. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
And
I
then,
have no
and then
problem
they should
seeing one more
finally
match.
they should finally put the Hardy Boys in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. Yes, they should. That should be
Because I
their
know
number one thing
Jeff
next
was
year.
asked already to go in as a solo, like a single. And he told them no. He's like, I'm not going in until I go in as a tag team.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he has to be a Hall of Famer as a tag team first.
Yeah.
You
No, he
have
said
to.
he goes the only way he goes in the Hall. He's like, if I go in the Hall of Fame, I'm doing it with my brother, and that's it.
Yeah, no. No. It cannot be that way. No. Yeah, man. I have no problem with that. But after that it has to be it.
Yeah, like that has to be the end of the Hardy Boys too.
No more. It's not, they do this and then the Hardy Boys go and
Back to TNA, like
back for the TNA.
absolutely
No, it's
needs
got
to
to be that. And then
Like it needs to be like one of those matches where it's like the Dudleys are like, you know what? If we win, you guys have to retire.
It does suck that we're going to get the final Hardy and three Dudley Boys match in TNA, but
No, I don't think.
at
it'll
least
be
we're
in
getting
TNA.
it. At least we're getting one.
I don't think it'll be in TNA.
Yeah. Slammiversary. They already announced that it was a promo,
oh crap, really?
and they accepted. It was a promo. They accepted. Yeah, that's why I announced it.
I thought you said it was like on social media that they like just called them out.
No, no, it was. I think it was on their show during during their program.
Hey, all right then.
Interesting. Okay.
And also, they might have lost both titles, but they're getting AJ Styles back.
That is true. AJ is showing up.
True. And I stand by what I said though. Like, they're gonna do that, but
I think AJ's getting
really
ready to
should.
retire soon too.
I still stand by that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see. Regardless, we're definitely going to be talking about it when it happens.
100%. But I do believe that is it for today.
Yes, that is it. Folks, we thank you for tuning into this episode. If you did make it to this point, that must mean you really like us.
Or you're crazy.
If you do that much, give us a follow on Twitch. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to our YouTube page as well, where videos come out usually the day after a stream. And if you, for some reason, want even more of this in your life, you see all of that content and you're like, no, I need more. I need more.
What's wrong with you?
Then shut up. God forbid we have fans. Jesus Christ.
Self-deprecation gets people interested.
Oh my God. No, overconfidence does.
Man, either way.
But if you enjoyed me and Dom yelling at each other for a few seconds, and you saw that, and you're like, I want more of that.
Or
I've got great news for you because you can. Or if you miss us all yelling at Francis, I got great news for you because you can catch us with daily wrestling content on TikTok and Instagram at The Push Wrestling.
Nice plug. I had to. He's
I'm
not
tell
here.
him
He's not here. Someone had to say it.
Oh God!
I originally thought it was going to be Scott, but
Nah.
whatever.
He's too much.
But yeah, folks. If you want to, once again, that is following us on TikTok and Instagram at The Push Wrestling. So that's it for us, and for all of us here at The Push. My name is Cap.
I'm Dom.
Scott Dash.
And I'm still Cap. And ring that bell for me, Dom.